Hey, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Loki of Asgard.
And we're AA Batteries. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. This is a section called Two Guys in a Movie, and we're going to be talking about Thor, The Dark World.
I burn with glorious purpose.
Burn, baby, burn.
Disco Inferno! Okay, that's enough of that.
Yes, it is.
Well, why don't we go through the aspects of the movie, and we'll discuss it and give it stars as like a rating system.
First off, the lead actor. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. Enough said.
He's fantastic as Thor.
Yeah.
Honestly, the look they gave him and the way he portrays it with that deep voice and I'm a god kind of thing, you know, I actually think he really portrays Thor very well.
Well, he already cemented it in the first movie. He did a very good job at that. And you really get the feel of where Thor has come. He's comfortable in who he is, and he's trying to be the good king that he's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth does a great job at it. So, I'm going to give him a star.
I would also give him a star.
Okay, next one. Lead actress.
I hate Natalie Portman.
Same here. It ruined, it didn't really help that she was in Star Wars. I mean,
see, I think that's where I don't like her from. It's from Star Wars. You know, I think she has potential, but she never does anything with it. I definitely thought she did better in this movie, but she still has that whole blandness about her where it's just like, oh, things are happening to me. Oh, my.
So, I'm going to give her no stars.
No star for me as well.
Okay, that's easy. Supporting cast. Okay, Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins
rocks in almost everything he's in.
My goodness gracious. I loved seeing him on screen.
Oh yeah, Anthony Hopkins is a superb actor. Yeah. He's fantastic.
And Idris Elba. I don't know if you know who that is. I forgot who he plays again, but he plays the guy who guards the gate.
Oh yeah. The Golden Guardian or whatever he's called is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm probably butchering that, so Thor fans forgive me. But the guy, he's cool. He's just flat out cool.
And another thing, he just got nominated for a Golden Globe nominee for that Nelson Mandela.
Oh.
He played Nelson Mandela in that movie. So.
I did not know that.
And I hope I'm not butchering his name. So.
I hope not.
But honestly, and Thor's mother did a pretty good job. Yeah, pretty good job as well.
The part of the supporting cast that I didn't care about were the three scientists, human scientists.
Yes.
What's the name of the guy we've seen in the
Eric. Dr. Eric.
He annoys me. He was good in the first one as like that character, but after the Avengers, he just kind of became pointless to me.
He became a comic relief character.
Yeah.
He didn't become in the first movie, he was serious. He was a serious character, and they turned him into a comic relief character, and I did not appreciate that. However, the two interns were the comic relief characters, and I appreciated that.
They were funny.
But for supporting cast, I'm going to give it half a star.
Yeah, I would give it half a star too. If it wasn't for Anthony Hopkins, I don't think I would put it up there, but I would have given it a no star, but there is some superb actors that really bumps up my score for
exactly. Going to lead villain. Now, we're not talking about Loki. We're going to be talking about the Dark Elf in this.
I can't pronounce his name.
I forgot his name, but I did not care for him. With these types of movies, the villain carries the movie. The first one, it was the Ice Giants and Loki, and both of them grabbed my attention. This one, it was Loki and the Dark Elf and his army, and I did not like him.
It wasn't so much just him as a villain, it was... I felt like his whole reasoning for what he was doing was completely just weird. Like, I didn't even quite get it either. Before there was light, there was darkness, and people who lived in the darkness, then the light came in, and suddenly the people who lived in the darkness didn't have the darkness anymore, and so... You know, they want to destroy the light so it can be back into the darkness. It's so, like, complicated. It's like, why not just adapt? Darth Vader agrees. I don't know.
Bear in mind, the guys were his armies were cool. when that one guy got
Oh, yeah.
souped up. That was pretty cool. However, I agree with you. The whole reasoning behind it is just really muddled. Like, it wasn't really well explained, and also the actor who portrayed him didn't really give him any depth.
Not really. It was just, I'm the bad guy.
I'm going to give him no stars.
No star.
Loki.
One
He's Loki. I'm just going to give him 1 star. He carries the movie. He carries the movie.
of my favorite parts about this movie is Loki. When the first Thor movie came out, I thought Loki was amazing. It portrayed well, acted well, well fleshed out story. I think the ice giant thing is a little weird, but besides that, I think he is a great Loki. And then in Avengers, when he comes back and he's the villain of that story, I was just blown away by how awesome Loki is.
Yep.
And then in this movie, he's broken down. His glory is gone. He's gotten everything taken away from him. He's in a jail cell, and everything is happening around him, and he doesn't know what's going on. And you could see him slowly descending into this depression. And then when him and Thor team up and start working together, I really believe they're brothers. I really believe their love-hate relationship for each other. Loki, 1 star. Loki is amazing.
1 star for me. You've said it all. Let's go to the next one. The look of the film.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but this is where I have a problem with it. Let me explain. It looked like Star Wars. Too much Star Wars. Now, in the first movie, it looked like it just jumped from the Marvel comic book pages. And in the first movie, it really felt like a fantasy tale rather than a science fiction tale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the intent of the Thor comic books. It was a fantasy tale. It wasn't a science fiction. It was fantasy. They rode horses. They had a hammer. And even though there was science fiction aspects in the first movie, it was still a fantasy tale. In the second one, there were swords with lights around it. There were lasers. There were spaceships. And the whole look of it was very cartoonish to me. And I did not appreciate that. It was too Star Wars for my taste. But I did not like the look of the film. Yes, it was amazing. But it did not grab my attention.
See, I liked it. I liked the separate worlds. I liked the I kind of liked the sci-fi feel to it. Yeah, the laser swords and ships flying around had a Star Wars-esque feel about it. But when I was watching it, I didn't automatically think this is Star Wars. It had its own unique feel to it. But I personally would give the look of the movie a star.
I'm going to give it a half star. Okay, the plot and the story. Now, the plot is basically the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf is going to be...
Spoilers.
So, okay, yeah, spoilers. The Dark Elf is going to plunge the universe into eternal darkness. I forgot what the matter is called, but
I don't know. It was. I don't know if he was trying to kill everything in the universe or just make it all black. I wasn't quite sure about that.
it was very muddled.
It was vague.
The storyline wasn't as good as it could have been.
I could see that. One thing I did like about the Thor movies in general was that it was more focused on story than action. A lot of people didn't like.
True.
A lot of people didn't like the first Thor movie. I've spoke to many people and they were like, it didn't have enough action in it. And I said, that's exactly why I liked it. Thor 2 had significantly more action and less story, but I felt like the story was legit. But I thought that there was 2 parts to the story. There was what was happening in Asgard, and there was what was happening on Earth. And I personally found everything that happened on Earth boring. And yes, I see the point of showing the stuff on Earth, but they could have made it a lot shorter and all that. But what was happening on Asgard was a much more engaging story.
I would have to give it a half a star.
I would give the story a half a star.
Okay, now we're going into the action.
My take on the action was I loved it. I enjoyed every action scene that was in that movie. The war scenes at the beginning were really cool. Graphically, visually, cinematography, All the action was really cool. I very much enjoyed it.
Even though I did not like the Star Wars feel of it, I thought that it had a really good action in it. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It was just about. It was just.
I thought it was just right. Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give it a star.
I'm gonna give it a star as well.
Okay, on to the enjoyability. Not so much as there's so much action on here, but did we enjoy? Were we engaged in the movie? Did the movie grab our attention?
I enjoyed the movie very much, but like I said, there were boring parts to it.
Yeah.
When they were on Earth, I just found myself sitting there like this, like, I really don't care. Can we show something else? Or at least show these scientists doing something other than making jokes, having funny things happen to them, and chasing gravity wells. Like, it's like, eh. But besides those lulls, I would say this movie was thoroughly enjoyable. I would say I enjoyed it enough to give it about a half a star of enjoyability.
Here's the thing: the most enjoyable part was when Loki was changing, was shapeshifting.
I forgot about that scene.
We're
That scene was cool.
We're not gonna say it. We're not gonna say it.
Leave it out.
We'll leave it out. If you haven't seen that movie, that part is probably one of the funniest parts in that whole movie, and one of the funniest parts in the Marvel films.
Yeah, it was funny. I laughed really hard during.
But I'm gonna give it a half star too, because at times it was enjoyable, and at times it was very, very boring.
Mm-hmm.
And now the last star, it's gonna be personal preference. Now this personal preference is it's basically a star where you think, oh, I want to give this an extra star because I liked it so much, or I didn't really like it. I'm not going to give it any stars. I'm going to give it an extra star because it was a better than average film.
Okay.
It's not worthy. It's definitely not worthy of a 5 out of 10 or 5.5 out of 10. I would say it would be a good 6 out of 10 movie. My overall rating is 6 out of 10 stars. You want to know your count?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. You got 5.5.
5.5 stars. I'm also going to give the movie an extra star. My reason being is, 6.5 out of 10 I think is legit. I would almost rank it higher, but since we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed this movie, but my biggest thing that I love about it, the thing that made me really excited to see it, and the thing that really made me want to stay in that seat and watch the entire thing was Loki and Thor's relationship with each other.
Exactly.
Their brotherly scene.
Okay, so just to recap, I overall give it a 6 out of 10. It is an enjoyable movie. It's not a movie that I would watch again and again and again. Maybe a couple more times. It's a worthy canon for the Marvel Films universe, but definitely not a worthy success. A worthy successor to Thor, but definitely not better than Thor.
And I gave it a 6.5 stars out of 10. And I would say this is a movie that I would get and add to my collection.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this has been Two Guys in a Movie. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ronzi.
And we're AA Batteries, so along with Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's the man.
Oh yes, the man behind the suit. He's the first Iron Man, actually. Not really.
No.
Anyway, guys, see you guys later. And let us know, comment on our Facebook page, or comment on our YouTube channel what your ranking of Thor the Dark World is. Whether you liked it, whether you hated it, or whether you hated Natalie Portman. Just comment on there. Comment down there. So.
And if you disagree with us, we'll find you.
Oh yes, we will. We watch Mythbusters. We know how to...
we know how to blow things up.
We know how to blow things up. We know how to make blow darts. We know how to be ninjas. So... Don't trick us.